Welcome everyone to the first episode of the BS Cast, and this is the first video that I'm going to be doing of a podcast style video. And I explained that later, but the reason why I'm saying this right now because I actually tried to stream this a few days ago, but the stream failed for whatever reason. I'm notorious for my bad internet, so that's probably why. But I'm going to be uploading it all up together. But parts of it didn't get recorded, so there's going to be a weird jump cut somewhere after 7 minutes, but then the rest of the thing should go smoothly, I believe. So I apologize for that later on. I'll probably edit it better and try to figure out how to make it more professional and just make it more polished overall. But this is the first video I'm doing of this style, so please go easy on me. Next one should be a lot better. So, anyways, enjoy the cast.
You are live,
We are
boy.
in
I
fact
got the notification.
yes, we are in
Hold
fact
on,
live.
I'm not sure.
Now, welcome
It says
everyone
waiting
to
for you.
wait.
So.
What? Oh,
On
it's
your
waiting.
on your channel, it says waiting for you for war.
Waiting for me.
So I don't know
Yeah,
if that means
it's-
anything. For all I know, we are live. We're just fucking around, or I don't know.
All right, but anyways,
Boy, do you think?
welcome anyone to who if you're watching it now or halfway through the stream or whatever, watching it later. Welcome to the BS cast. This is basically going to be a podcast style video where I invite a few friends to discuss about current games going on or what problems with them or just how wonderful they are. And and I hear my stream playing in the
You're welcome,
background,
fine.
so I know it's live.
Yeah, no, it just went live. I was just double checking. It just
Awesome.
needed to load for some reason, but yeah, no, we're good now.
And yeah,
And
just, if you can check on it periodically to see if it's still going. But we're going to be
and-
talking about Anthem today, and all three of us have Anthem. By the way, introduce yourselves, Persia.
Hello, everyone. For those of you who do know me, I am Hybrid Spectre on YouTube. You should go subscribe to me. But also, I'm also going to be recording this podcast as well. You're just going to be looking at the title screen for Anthem on my end. So this is going to be going up on my channel as well. And please do subscribe. But also give my buddy Boar here some love too. He needs the subscribers.
Yo.
So, yeah, that's me. I am Hybrid Spectre.
And we got the lovable head taker. Introduce yourself.
Yeah, that's me. No,
Yeah,
not really much to say. I ain't got much, man. I'm just here.
You got anything to like add, like where they can find you, or anything like that?
I don't got anything, so
All
that's
right.
why.
Now, this is the
Here.
homeless guy. This is the homeless guy that we invited into the first podcast. So
I shoot
Of course
holes in hope, by the way.
you did.
Yeah, he
That's
lives in a
right.
box somewhere in the United States, but
We're not going to say
anyways.
where because he's in witness protection, the homeless witness.
yeah,
protection.
exactly. Exactly. The Russians are after him.
All right. But anyways, we're here to talk about Anthem and what's going on with it. This is not going to be a podcast where it's like, oh, we're gonna make fun of Anthem and how crappy of a start it had and all that kind of stuff. It's going to be kind of the opposite, where we talk about the problems it's having, but the good things about it too.
Yeah. And before we actually get into this, I want to say that like we do thoroughly enjoy this game. So anything we say, do understand that we like this game. We just think that there are issues about it that do need to be addressed, but we do enjoy this game. We're not going to tear it to shreds. We're going to be very objective about what it has going for it and what it needs to do to get better.
Mhm.
So that's basically that. So before you think, oh great, we're gonna tear this game apart, no, we're not. We're just gonna discuss both sides of the spectrums in the most objective way possible.
Oh yeah. And anything to add,
that's
Ted Ticker?
That's pretty much the plan. I mean,
Yeah, pretty much the plan. I'm going to start off with what I like about the game. It's a fun game. It really is. I enjoy it, but here's my bias. I'm only about 5 hours into the game, approximately. Yeah, about 5 hours into it, and I haven't finished the campaign or anything. And I've been hearing from people it's not that long of a campaign and all that kind of stuff. But my problem with it, and the reason why I haven't finished it and haven't put more time into it, is because of the server problems. I bet you a lot of people have been having problems with it. For me, it's a lot worse because I can't even enter into the game. I don't know about you guys, what you guys been experiencing, but Yeah, like it's just been a bad situation even trying to play the game because I would play one story mode, then it would kick me out when I try to launch the next story mode, and then hell, the this game incentivizes like playing co-op with people, but then it feels like it almost screws you over when you try to join friends and all that kind of stuff. So I don't know quite what to say about it. And you guys got anything to add to that?
Yeah. I think between the three of us, I probably invested the most time into the game. Beaten the campaign. I'm pretty much at end game level now. I'm an epic. My javelin is at an epic level quality already, which is give or take around the 400 spectrum, around the kind of like the kind of the light system in Destiny a little bit. When you get about your quality, depending on your numbers, your quality goes up. So, um, pretty much what you said, Boar, is true. Is true. There are server issues, but the game is very fun. But some of the things that I have personally experienced is that while the game has very good bones, like the game has a very good framework to it. The problem with it is that it's not on a very good foundation at the moment because, like you said, server issues, glitches. The game is very unstable, and you couldn't have escaped these things that escape these articles written on the internet about how the game crashes so hard on PS4 that it will brick your console.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, so it's not. So yeah, the game's not really in the best of places at the moment, but it is very fun. Um, it just needs a lot of work to it. So the only the only thing I'm having trouble getting behind is the wait for it, and considering that we paid about $60 for this game for people who got the collector's edition about $200 or $100, however much that was.
It's
That's
kind
a
of a
lot
kick
of
in
money.
the face. It's kind of a kick in
Yeah,
the face.
that's like we're paying money for something that essentially doesn't work. So, and that's frustrating for someone like myself who really enjoys the game. And I'm not one of those people to complain about like, oh, this game's crap, it doesn't work. Anthem kind of made me do that a little bit because now it kind of just made it like, is this game going to work at launch, or how many patches is it going to take to actually get it to a playable state?
Hmm.
So those are my thing. Those are my thoughts on Anthem, but it is very fun. It just needs more game stability at the moment.
Oh, of course.
So,
And the podcast just stopped. I don't know why. But anyways, we
what, the
can.
stream stopped?
Yeah, the stream just cut itself off for some damn reason.
Oh well. Well, this
Copyright infringement.
copyright.
I'd be like, what the hell is
Gosh, dang it!
just keep it. Just keep it going.
I'll keep it going. I'm still recording, anyways. I think. Hold on, let me check that.
Yeah, it's like
The Interceptor. The drawback to that is that I will have to completely readjust the way I play as the Interceptor, and I'll have to
adding on
go
to
ahead,
that.
Headtaker.
On top of that, adding on to that, one of the big problems I want to forget is it is a very good thing that you can just swap out classes whenever you want. It gives more variety. But at the same time, the drawback is eventually you're going to get, because right now there's only 4 suits in the game right now.
Mhm.
If it's going to be relatively quick to get burned out from all the suits, so it's kind of a mild drawback, but also kind of a good thing at the same time. You know, it's a
Yeah.
double-edged sword for each other.
Well, yeah, that
Yeah.
is one thing, but in Anthem, I think it's completely different than Destiny because in Destiny, all the subclasses, Titan, Warlock, Hunters.
Yeah.
I played it primary Hunter, but in Anthem, I'm a Juggernaut, and that is like bipolar opposites of each other. But in
Yeah.
Destiny, those basically it doesn't matter what class you play, you can play them all similarly. Like they have different, abilities and stuff like that, and you can play them a
Yeah.
little bit different. But when it comes down to the prime of it, you have a gun, you shoot people with it, and well,
Yeah,
you shoot.
and that's where the differences start to come in between Anthem and Destiny. Is that Destiny is a first-person shooter, So the primary focus of it is that the primary focus of Destiny is that it's a shooter first and an RPG second, and Bungie has starting to do a very good job at really balancing the RPG and the shooter aspects. They're really getting that. They're really getting better to, but they still maintain the stance on it's a shooter first and an RPG second. So
And
even in Destiny,
that does draw in a lot of people, though. That does, really.
Yeah, it does. It does. Like, there are even people that I didn't think would like it. Like, I'm gonna take like, there's a Call of Duty YouTuber called Marksman. I thoroughly expected him to hate Destiny, and I was watching one of his videos, and he said that he even streamed Destiny 2. And I'm like, wow, this dude likes Destiny. Like Destiny draws in a very interesting crowd, and you either love it or you hate it. But then you have people who are very critical about it, but they're critical of it because they like it. But I'm getting off track here. But back to what I was saying is that Destiny is a first-person shooter. So while the classes do different things and they're meant to be played and used and utilized in very different ways, ultimately all of the classes are very similar, and it's all about putting your DPS on a huge boss enemy as quickly as possible and in very large capacities. In Anthem, every class has a very specific role, and you have to play it that way. Example, the Colossus frame.
Frame.
That is meant to, frame
Frame.
javelin. Yeah, I know. Like, it pretty much is. It's a chassis. It's a chassis is what it is. But anyways, yeah, to be fair, but the Colossus javelin, that is meant to be your tank. That is and if you have a player who likes to play tank, you're gonna want them to be the Colossus. So that way they're gonna be out there on the front lines taking all of your damage. Meanwhile,
well, like I play Colossus, and as a Colossus, like when people think of Anthem, you're flying around. As a Colossus, your boots are going to be on the ground 90% of the time. You're not really wanting to fly around, and that's different from a lot of the other classes. But continue on.
Yeah, and as someone who so you have Colossus as you said, Boar, you're going to be on the front lines. You're going to be boots on the ground. You're not going to be up in the air as much. But but then there's Storm, which is what I play. Storm is meant to be in the air. Like, Storm can hang in the air the longest out of all of the javelins, and Storm can hover. And when Storm hovers, Storm gets a bonus to shield and gets a bonus shield when they're hovering in the air. So the way to play Storm is you have to hang in the hovering above the battlefield and either shooting or raining your abilities down on top of your enemies and synergizing with your team, which is something that Destiny could really learn from. Is the fact that you have 4 classes, and these 4 classes are meant to be played very specifically.
And honestly, in Destiny, I would love to see the Warlock. I don't think I would really be playing the Warlock, but a lot of people compare like the Warlock and the Storm together. I see why. But in Destiny, if the Warlock floated around more and like shot things down at people, it would be pretty interesting. But the supers kind of do that, but whatever. But,
you guys keep on going. I'll be right back.
Right back. Head Taker, who do you play as in Anthem?
In Anthem?
Yes.
Right. Well, I have everyone unlocked right now, but the Ranger. I played the Ranger in the beta, but honestly, I don't typically have a primary. I bounce back and forth between all 3. It just depends on how I feel at the moment.
I'm guessing
all 4.
All 4, yes. And would you say like you have more experience with all of them then? Like I only played Ranger and Colossus. How different would you say all the subclasses are then?
There's a good difference between all of them. Like I said, the best starting off to explain them all as roughly as I could, pretty much. Storm, I pretty much define as air support, like how it's like normally how Persia was saying, you're supposed to hover, and then you have shield boost because of that, and you pretty much just are air support at that point.
Oh yeah.
The Interceptor they specialize in melee and speed. They every suit right now has a melee cooldown, so you do a melee attack, then you have to wait a few seconds, then you can do another one. Interceptor doesn't have that cooldown. Interceptor, you can just keep hammering down the melee button. There's just a flurry of blades. And they're also the quickest, most agile suit out of all of them right now.
Oh, yeah.
But the obvious drawback to that is that it is a piece of paper. You can't take anything for damage.
Right.
So it's like you get good damage output, but then you also get really crappy, durability, so to say.
Hentai just
I'm just explaining all the classes right now, as roughly as I can.
Yeah.
Then Colossus, they are like Persia said, they're the tank. They don't have an energy shield, but they have their arm shield that's there to pretty much block damage and just beat the living piss out of anybody who's against them.
All the suits have all the javelins have a dodge mechanic. The freaking Colossus just pulls out his shield.
Except for Colossus.
Yeah, he just pulls out his shield and goes, "Yeah, fight me."
Because he's meant to straight up absorb damage.
Yeah. And it really adds that level of uniqueness to the classes, and it emphasizes that if you play a certain role, you need to play that role and stick to it. Whereas in Destiny, it's all about attack, 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 attack. And that's not to say that. And recently in Destiny 2, each class has a very own specific class ability, which is supposed to add that extra level of support to everything. But
they really try to hammer home their specific roles, like
but it's very basic. It's extremely basic, but I could see that being further developed, maybe in Destiny 3 or maybe in the next DLC, the next big DLC, and not the next episode in the seasonal pass. But that's a whole other topic entirely.
Oh yeah, but yeah, we've been talking about how Anthem is and all that kind of stuff, and how it's absolutely a beautiful game, and weirdly, I think that is burning PS4s up. I don't know the ins and outs of that. It's a weird thing going on. You want to explain it real
it's
quick?
Basically like the whole crashing thing that's all down to the game being so unstable that it simply can't keep up, and then the whole thing just collapses right on top of itself.
First, it was rumored to be it was literally melting graphics cards, but I didn't believe that, so I went looking some more and I found out that it was actually that Anthem is corrupting the PlayStation's database.
What?
And causing it to literally not even.
That's terrifying.
That's what I heard.
Yeah, and there was, and what was it? IGN. I think with IGN or Kotaku or one of the game journalism outlets. They were saying that one potential fix for that is to maybe rebuild your PlayStation 4 database, which is easy to do. Just put your PS4 in rest mode, in safe mode, and then attempt to rebuild your data and attempt to rebuild the database. Now they aren't sure if that works though, but it can't hurt to try.
Well, from what I've heard, along with that story, because it did cover that too, I've heard that does work from when people had to do it. But the thing which I can totally understand why people are mad about is that they shouldn't have to boot up their PlayStation, do all this, and there's more of it just booting it up. There's a little bit more to a process to it.
Yeah.
Their argument is they shouldn't have to be doing that to play a simple game they hate, which I totally agree with.
Right.
Yes, and that's
for God's sake, I didn't even know. Like when your PlayStation is off, I didn't even know you could boot it into rest mode. I didn't even know you could, or rest setting, whatever it's different from rest mode on the PlayStation. So I didn't know you could freaking do that at that point.
Yeah, and the thing
I can
is,
understand anger.
And this is getting, and so this is kind of another reason why I kind of why I'm kind of reached my ambivalence point with Anthem, is because these are serious technical issues that should have been noticed and worked out well into the development process, or at least when the beta was going on. Because when the betas were up, the game would, like, the servers were so unstable. You couldn't even play, like, all you had to do was sneeze and your game would crash.
Yeah, the betas were kind of shite. They were. That's the thing, though. Back when the beta was going on, though, I probably sat around for 2 hours waiting for the stupid game to work, and then played 15 minutes of the gameplay. But here's the thing: that 15 minutes of gameplay was a blast. what the hell? Like, it's a fun game. It doesn't work. I want to
Yeah.
play it. And
Yeah.
that's my
And
big
that's
contention with it.
Yeah, and that's another, and I share your frustration with that, Boar, because here's the thing, like I'll be just randomly, I'll either be doing free play or I'll be in a loading screen, loading into a mission, and then right when my loading bar is about to finish, it'll, bam, kick me right back to the title screen that you guys are looking at right now, and it's just like really, I was right in the middle I was right about to boot into a match, but you kick me back here and you say it's a server problem. That's not a server problem. That's a technical issue that should have been worked out in the development phase. And more recently, another frustration that I really had that really got me upset was I was doing a stronghold. I was doing a stronghold on Grandmaster 1 difficulty, and that's not easy. That is not easy, especially if you're a storm. That's not easy. I was mainly doing it just for the loot. I picked up 3 masterworks and a legendary. So I'm excited. Like I'm
Sure, those
I'm
are
ready.
the best things in the game. So
Yeah. Those are like masterworks and legendaries. They're basically the equivalents of exotics.
I wouldn't know because I haven't even got that far. Sad face. Anyways,
maybe in a few months.
Maybe
In a few months. But we'll get to that in a minute. What was I saying? So I'm excited. I've got myself a serious loot haul here, and so I'm going through the mission, and I finish it. I finish the mission, and I'm in the loading screen, waiting to get to the victory screen. Bam! Kicks me back to the title screen that you guys are now looking at right now, and I'm like, oh no! So I just figured. So I'm irritated. So I just figure it'll just chalk it up and it'll be there waiting. It'll be there in my mailbox saying like, oh, here's all your rewards. Go to this place to go check them out. So I thought nothing of it until I actually checked my mailbox and I said like, and it gave me nothing. So I'm like, what? So I got angry because I did all of that work on end game level difficulty, got all this loot, and then kicks me back to the title screen right when I was about to tally up all my XP, and it's gone. So I left a very angry Reddit post
a very
on
angry
Reddit.
Reddit post.
Very angry. I said a lot of unkind things. Anyways, but someone gave me the solution, and I was able to play, leave, and you get your loot. And I did that, and I got my loot. So I felt better when I got my loot. But the thing is that I shouldn't have to boot up another activity just to get my loot. If anything, the game should have realized, oh wait, he wasn't done yet. He was all XP. Let's just take it all, put it there, so when he comes back, it will learn that says, hey, here's all your stuff. Go over there to go get it. It should have done that, but it didn't. So yeah, which I guess can lead us into some of the both technical and gameplay issues and how we can potentially fix them. Part of this podcast. So Boar, we'll let you take the lead on that.
I will take the reins. I don't know where we're going with it, but I'll take it. Yes,
it's your podcast.
And with the technical stuff, like Persia has been saying for weeks to the people who've been thinking about getting Anthem or curious about it that we know. We might have him on the podcast one of these days. Who knows? But he's been basically saying, just wait like 3 months and see what turns out, right?
Yes.
And part of me has been like, oh no, just get game now and try it out. And then all these techno issues, and apparently it's breaking PS4s now. So yeah, please wait to get this game.
Yes, because when the game first launched, BioWare did release a 3-month roadmap of what's to come. And most of it is just like extra content, like more strongholds and more missions and all that. But quite frankly, while extra content is good, I think they really need to maybe slam on the brakes with the content and maybe work on the technical issues first before working on more things, because right now we have the game being extremely unstable. We have some serious latency issues with trying to get in with friends, and the three of us actually experienced this. We were trying to all play together, but every time we would join each other and we would try to put up a mission, it would kick one of us out. Mainly Boar, because he has very crappy internet. Mainly Boar, because he has very crappy internet, and the game is, and coupled with his very terrible internet, the game's just not stable enough. So what I've been telling a lot of people is wait 3 months so BioWare has time to get all of their patches out to get the game in a somewhat playable state. But quite frankly, we shouldn't have to wait 3 months for the game to be in a pseudo-playable state.
No.
Because, like, right now, it's currently in a pseudo-playable state. But we shouldn't have to wait 3 months for it to be in a playable state. It should have been in a playable state right out of the gate. But this is where we are, and this is what we have to deal with.
Right,
so.
And going off of that, like, every game that comes out, sometimes games do come out and they're not, like server problems, all that kind of stuff. Head Taker, did you play Battlefield 4 when it launched?
Oh yeah, I was there for that.
I wouldn't know. I didn't play that.
Anyway,
my God, when the building fell, there was no God for anybody.
So Battlefield 4, when it was launched, it was like the new Battlefield 4, even though a lot of people call it just Battlefield 3.5 or whatever. And it is basically just the fourth game in it, and it wasn't until they gave the reins to, I think it was like EA. It wasn't EA. It was DICE headquarters in America. DICE, I don't know what it was. But basically they gave it over to the American side, or maybe the American gave it to the, I don't know. I didn't do my research on it, I apologize. But the launch of it was crappy as hell, but to this day, Battlefield 4 is one of my favorite games out on the market because of, well, they made a comeback for it, right? Because there were server problems. Like, like Siege of Shanghai, when that building came down. Was it Siege of Shanghai?
No, that was what the DLC was called. It was the map Shanghai.
Yeah, Shanghai. And there's a way to bring down a giant skyscraper, and it was awesome. But your game would crash sometimes when it happens, or the frames.
Sometimes it crashed every time.
And oh my goodness. And yeah, that's basically what was going on there. And let's say Rainbow, for an example. It had a rocky start. Rainbow Six Siege. It had a rocky start, and now is one of the most popular first-person shooters on the market right now. So I'm hopeful that Anthem can make a comeback on that, and they can do better from it. And I don't know if you guys...
and we already know that it will. But the problem is that in the current state of gaming, with patches and DLC and all that, games released are more and more games are being released unfinished, and like, but then again, that's a whole nother topic entirely. But I'm gonna briefly touch on it a little bit. Is that, like, in today's gaming world, I'm not one to complain about this really, because quite frankly, while I don't like loot boxes or microtransactions and all that really, one thing I tell a lot of people is that, like, games that have them, just don't buy them. just don't buy them. Like, that's common sense. Like, don't like it.
It's cosmetic. You don't need to buy it.
Now, when it's cosmetic items, that's when I'm okay with that. Like, which is part of the like, I had to make like two videos on my channel when the microtransactions were being called out back when Destiny 2 was still in its first year, and I was like, look, it's cosmetics here. Like, this isn't Black Ops 3 where they're selling you weapons and all that crap.
Oh yeah.
Or like it's not like Battlefront 2 where they're selling you literally characters that give you an advantage, and if you don't have it, you just can't hold a candle to anybody. No, it's all cosmetics. It's all there to make you look pretty. And Anthem does the same thing. Yeah, and Anthem does the same thing with the cosmetic microtransactions. But here's my gripe with it, is that you have two different types of currency. You have coin, which you can earn by playing the game, and you have shards, which you can buy with real money. Now, my problem with coin is that the pricing on some of the cosmetic items is way too expensive. We're talking 6,000 coin for a little sticker that you put on your javelin, and to be honest, and I'm gonna be frank with you, that's at least 10 hours of grind right there.
Mm-hmm. I wouldn't know because
Well,
I haven't.
no, I take that back. I take that back. That's at least 2 hours of grind if you're doing all your stuff. That's like 2 hours of grind. But the thing is that yeah, exactly. But the thing is that for 6,000 coin that is earned so little, like your coin is pretty much so valuable, you almost don't want to spend it because you earn so little of it in such a long amount, in such vast amounts of time. But then the things you want to spend it on are so grossly expensive. You kind of have to weigh your options. It's like, well, do I save my coin for this thing that I want, or do I spend some of it now for this thing that I want?
Well, I'm going to be frank. The cosmetics in Anthem aren't really all that interesting either, in my opinion. They add a little bit of flavor into it.
But that's really
It's not that good.
Now, some of the cosmetics that you can earn through your faction rank ups are actually really good. If anything, I think the best cosmetic, and you just get those for free just by ranking up your factions.
Mm-hmm.
But the stuff that you can buy, quite frankly, it's not that. It's some of it's really not that great. Like the only things I spent my coin on was some really cool looking armor for a really cool look for my storm javelin, and I'm still wearing that to this day because it really looks cool. And plus, I spent what was it? It was like 60,000 coin. Mm-hmm. So I cleaned out all of my coin just for that, and that's my and the thing is that I think more people would be more incentivized to get this stuff if it wasn't so grossly expensive. Like at the very least, like little stickers for your javelin, those should be like 200 coin, and with like the whole paint jobs, those should be like maybe like 500 or 800, like something like that, something reasonable. But when your coin for the stuff that you want is in the thousands, you almost kind of like, and you work your butt off for all this coin, you almost kind of wonder, like, is it worth it to even get this stuff? Because like the idea of that is that if they make the in-game currency so expensive, you'll spend real money on shards to get the stuff, and the shards. And buying it with shards is so much more cheaper than with coin, because for shards it's like a couple hundred.
Well, with any games,
point.
you have to look at it when they do stuff like this: time or money. You can either use up your time or you can spend real money.
That's the thing. Which is kind of why I'm getting so frustrated with MWR right now, because I want those guns, but you have to open up. But you have to open up the supply drops to even have a chance of getting the stuff for those guns. Like, it's just it's so crappy.
To be fair, that is Call of Duty, and I feel like they monetize just about anything.
Oh yeah.
So that's Call of Duty though, but.
Yeah, like that's just Call of Duty in a nutshell. But back on topic.
Back on topic.
The cosmetics
like
the Anthem microtransactions, while they are cosmetic and they aren't a problem yet, they do leave much to be desired. Like, the emotes are kind of lame.
They're
like,
100%
they're not
lame.
Well, like there's like maybe two. There's like maybe two that look really cool. That's like the look back with your arms crossed, and then there's the look back with the thumbs up thing. Those two are actually pretty cool.
Yeah,
the rest of it is actually.
I completely forgot there was emotes in this game. I really did.
Yeah, there are. But quite frankly, they all. But aside from those two things that I mentioned, the rest of it just kind of sucks. And the loot pool, I don't want to see the loot pool, and the pool for those items is so grotesquely small, and the store resets every 3 days. So you have so don't find something that you want, gotta wait 3 days. When what they should be doing is that they should be making that bigger, more expansive, with more items that last a whole week.
I'd say
and then that resets.
Yeah, I would just say they could. There was some. I can't remember what game it was, but they had two categories. They had daily reset items, which were kind of okay, but not the best. And they had weekly reset items that were generally more like you wanted them more than daily.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Like, I think that would be a better system for that.
to sum it up though, like with the problems with servers, gameplay, and even monetization. Well, not really monetization. I'm having a stroke right now. The frickin' the
Yeah.
frickin' coinage and the loot system and the what is it, currency system in the game. I honestly find this game fun. We're going to be wrapping it up here, but I find the game really fun
Okay.
when it actually
Well,
works.
there is just one more. There is one more thing I did want to add.
Go for it.
To it is that Anthem currently doesn't have a very when you're much like Destiny, when you pick up an item, you can instantly open up your character screen and you can select the items right there. Anthem does not have that.
Yes, thank you for reminding me that would be a
yes,
great
yes,
system.
and yeah, I was actually going to get to that after I was talking about the microtransactions and all that. But the thing with Anthem is that compared to games like Destiny, where you can run around and pick up your loot, you get to see your loot that you pick up. As soon as you pick it up, like it'll flash right there on the screen, like, oh, I got this, and you can open up your character. Excuse me, you can open up your character screen right then and there, and you can select the item and put it right there on your character, just like that. In Anthem, on the other hand, you're gathering all these stuffs, but you don't know what it is. Like, you're just like, common item, epic item, legendary, masterwork items.
You don't even know what they are.
Yeah, but you can't see what it is until you complete your mission, tally up your XP, and then you get to see your loot. And then you get to see your loot, and then you can pick and choose what you want to keep and what you want to dismantle. The thing is that system is very annoying. I want to be able to see what I'm picking up, and I want to be able to determine whether I want to keep it or get rid of it right there on the spot, and I don't want to have to wait until my mission is over to clean out my backpack. I want to be able to clean out my backpack and select and equip stuff right there out in the field.
Absolutely, and that'll be like a quality of life thing that they can do later on.
Yeah, and that is a quality of life thing. But right now, in this very moment in time, Anthem needs BioWare needs to focus on getting its game in a very playable state. Like what they should be prioritizing now is making sure that the crashing stops on the PS4, and a little bit of an update on that. They're going to be releasing a patch for that either the next week, I think, to address that. So
and hopefully I'll be able to play it. That would be great.
Yeah, hopefully. Well, yeah, hopefully. But I'm talking about like the crashing on the PS4s where it bricks your console and all that.
Oh,
so
yeah.
That's what I'm talking. So that's the thing that I'm talking about. So that update should be going live next week. So, but basically to sum up is that Anthem is a good game, but is marred from rushed development and extremely terrible technical issues.
It's been bad. You got anything to add, Headtaker?
I mean, that's pretty much what it is. It feels rushed. You can easily see that if you played it and you have experience with like just video games in general, honestly.
Yeah.
But I mean,
that's the current state of the gaming market now.
And at the same time, Persia, you have mentioned a lot of games have been published unfinished lately and all that kind of stuff. I agree with you to an extent, but when I played Destiny 2 and all that kind of stuff, a lot of people send out their criticism for how the game works and all that kind of stuff. But I never had a problem playing. I never been kicked out or anything like that.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, and I can understand that. But then again, you and me, our mindsets are two different people. You're rather simple, and you see something. Oh, I like this. Let me play it.
Shiny rock. I like this rock.
Yeah,
it's nice.
Yeah, but for me, I'm like, this is a very nice shiny rock. Let me take a look at it very closely. Oh wait, there's a spot there, This shiny rock is not a shiny rock. You need to scrape on. You need to. This is not a shiny rock. This is not the shiny rock we asked for. Get us the real shiny rock. So, yeah, that's the point. That's the point. Is that I don't trust the whole publisher thing. But the thing is that I don't let that stop me from playing the game. If I want don't get me wrong. I knew what I was getting into when I bought Anthem. When I saw EA on there, I knew exactly what I was getting into. So I can't. So if I'm gonna blame anyone, I can only blame myself for buying this game and putting money in EA's pockets. Say what you will about me, I don't care. I wanted this game, I bought it, and this is what. And if anyone should be blamed, it should be me because I bought it. But I don't care. I bought it, and I'm enjoying it, trying to at least, and I have hope that it will get better.
Right.
So, but currently I'm only playing Anthem off and on. I'm currently juggling between like 3 different games because the new Destiny 2 update came out, so I'm playing a bunch of that and like BIG-WAR because that's free, and I'm playing with you guys and Watch Dogs 2, and then later this month Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. I'm gonna stream it, by the way, so.
And I'll talk about that here in a second. But Head Taker, you got anything to add?
I mean, like I said, it's some work. I mean, that loot thing we were talking about towards the end, I really honestly don't mind that, only because we've been doing that for years in Destiny.
Oh yeah,
so I can't really
and you can do that in the Division as well. Like the Division, like even the Division.
No,
that
I mean,
was...
no, the blank thing you get an engram and then you had to get the grip dart.
That is right. We did have to do that for a long time. It only changed since
really
Destiny
saw a problem with that. I mean,
here's the thing.
Like shit when you
at
the end of the mission
where
you see it and it's trash. But I mean, hey, it's RNG. That's what we're here for.
That is true. Now, here's the thing: if they want to keep doing what they're doing right now with the like a common item, epic item, masterwork item, and we don't know what it is, at the very least, we should be taking that. If they want to keep us in suspense a little bit, we should be taking that to a character at Fort Tarsus to kind of like decrypt those. But then again, they instantly decrypt when you complete your mission, so I don't think that would redo. But at the very least, they should these items should be we should be able to see these items and exactly what they are when we pick them up. Like if I get a masterwork item, I want to know for sure that I'm not getting screwed on a duplicate.
Yeah.
Because if I can know what it is when I pick it up, then I can start. Okay, yeah, this is trash. I can scrap this. But I don't want to get a masterwork item and then finish my mission and realize, oh, I've already got it already. Like what a complete waste of time. Like if I would have known that, I could have easily just forgot. I could have easily just scrapped it then and there. But then it kind of kills the hype.
I'm honestly fine with the way like the loot revealed at the end of the mission. My whole gripe is I feel like they need to tweak the leveling of what rarity drops at what your level is. Like it's kind of when you first start out and getting into like you go from like, just to make it extremely simple for people who don't know, you start at white tick, then when you get higher gear you go to blue, then it's orange, or is it no, it's purple, then orange.
And then it goes from yellow, and then it goes to yellow.
Then it goes
and that's
higher
typically
and higher.
That's typically a lot of games, though.
In the beginning, when you start out from that transition from the white gear to the blue gear, it's really difficult. And the same thing from going blue to purple. It's extremely difficult because the ratio of the commons are they keep dropping way more frequently than the rares, and it makes it a lot harder to get up, get up your gear tiers, so to say.
Yeah.
So I feel like they just need to change the rate at which they need to scale it to where the higher your level is, and the more of the opportunity that those drop.
Yeah, and they did an update where when you get to a certain level, certain items are going to stop dropping, like the whites and the greens and the blues.
I mean, they need.
But for some reason, that update didn't go according to plan. They had to release an update today to fix the loot patch that was supposed to fix loot. So that's another. But then again, that's a whole other topic. But ultimately, Anthem, it is a good game. It just was rushed. It's got a myriad of issues, and I can wholeheartedly say that even Destiny didn't have this many issues.
Oh yeah, Destiny had a nice start.
Nearly have a fraction of the amount of issues. That's not to say Destiny didn't have any issues. It just didn't have this many issues as Anthem did. So.
And to sum it up, the main reason why we're doing this podcast, I'm hoping the quality comes out nice. I'm probably going to have to edit stuff together. It might be a little bit weird. Go easy on me at my first podcast. I apologize, but
go easy on me was no. I kind of wanted to do this too, so
yes,
I just had because I don't know how to do some of the stuff that we're doing here.
Yes, but at the end of the day, the main reason why we're doing this is because we have hope for this game. We bought it going with well, I did with high hearts. I don't think Persia had like the best hopes for it. He still likes it, but of course, like all the criticism he had about it. And
Yeah.
I think we all want this game to succeed, especially when we put money into it, and that's all we
Yeah.
want. And in summary, good game, like Persia said, but wait a while before you get it, or if they don't iron out
Yes,
all these
definitely.
problems, just it'll die. The game will die. They
Yeah,
they
maybe
either
we'll,
iron out
but
or it'll die.
I'd say
Yeah.
if you haven't bought it and you still wanna and you're interested in buying it, right now I wouldn't say buy right now. I'd say just keep listening to the news like from the gaming community, and once it starts looking up for the game, then I'd say get into it.
And I
Yeah.
think we'll absolutely do another podcast when the game changes,
Well,
or
if
if
it-
it's not
yeah.
going to change.
Oh yeah,
better
like,
framework.
we'll definitely have to do another one. But one thing I can say is that like, as Headtaker said, just monitor the game very closely. If you like it, if you want to take the risk now and get it, more power to you. Just maybe if you're on PS4 Pro, just be careful. But we will be just keep your eyes up on the game, and we do want it to get better, and hopefully it will. And if Anthem doesn't do well, well then you have more options. You have the Division 2, which is coming.
Mm-hmm. And
I
speaking
will
of,
and
wait, what?
yeah, that's another topic entirely. So.
Yes, and yeah. To close though, yeah, we basically covered everything. No point in repeating ourselves. In the future, we'll definitely do another Anthem podcast, I think. But in the near future, I'm planning on getting Division 2. I'll probably get a few other guys who get into Division 2, and we'll discuss ins and outs of that game. And then on the 22nd, or after the 22nd, sometime after Shadows Die Twice come out, new From Software, I'll definitely get Persia here, and we'll have a discussion
yeah.
about that video too, which will definitely be good. So
that'll be really good.
anyways, this is the first BS podcast. I'm happy for anyone who tunes in on my channel or even Persia's channel. Would you guys like anything to say before we end it out?
Remember that only you can prevent forest fires.
Yes. And homeless guy,
You
what do
said
you have
that
to
as
say?
I just killed a bear. I just want to put that out.
Are you playing Red Dead Redemption right now?
No, I'm still in Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I just got into a fight with a bear.
I didn't know they
shot
had
him.
bears in Greece, but
that's a podcast.
Oh,
to
yeah,
whatever.
they have bears in Greece,
Anyways.
apparently.
bears up. Anyways, yeah, thank you all for tuning in, all three of you. Hopefully this gets more
Very welcome. Anytime.
popular. But anyway, thank you all for coming, and we'll do more of this in the future. But anyways, I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.
See you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.